Hey guys, how's it going?
Are you selling stuff?
No, no, I'm on a live stream though. Yeah, yeah. Hey guys, sorry, just trying to get this other window open and mute it. Okay, good to go. Hi, sorry I'm late. Yeah, I haven't done any embossing probably for, I don't know, a couple years. And anyway, so I thought, well, it'd probably be a good idea if I make sure my heat gun works. And of course it doesn't. I actually have another one somewhere, but I don't have any idea what I did with it. Anyway, so I had to go to Joann's and get another one. And of course, I had to get some other stuff. Oh my gosh. Blizzard battered coast of Maine. Is it? I don't watch the news anymore. I stopped watching the news. So, really, the only news like weather updates I get are from my mom or from you guys. So, I actually kind of like blizzards. I think they're kind of fun. Like, well, I mean, if you have everything you need. Hi, Nancy, and hi, Valerie, and Laura, and Donna, and my name is Sturdy, and Josie, and Serenity, and Nita. How you guys doing? And hello from Ireland. Wow. Hi, Teresa. Did I say hi, Jessica? So, what are you guys doing? Oh, I'm going to open this thing. So, I got this We Are Memory Keepers heat gun. It's the only heat gun they had at Joann's. Um, and it was half price, so that was good. All their like stamps and punches and paper crafting tools were half price, so that was cool. Um, ooh, it's fancy. So I bought some other tools on Amazon that I've been wanting. Oh, and in case anybody is wondering about shipping on the journals that I just had, and that some of you guys bought. Um, I'll be doing that tomorrow. So maybe tonight, I don't know, but either way, they won't get picked up until Monday. So, but they're all going to come priority, so that's good. Yeah, see, and I had so the one that broke um was the backup because I can't find the other one. Anyway. Oh my gosh. Minnesota. Hi, Carrie. See, that's one thing I do like about live streams is that you guys can you guys can talk to each other, you know. Anyway, so yeah, so I got some other tools off of Amazon. Can you guys hear me okay? I hope so. um I bought this tiny little chop saw, just a little tiny one. Because in searching for, well, I want to make some charms out of these dominoes, but I want to cut them. I want to cut them in half so they're smaller, and then there's just one picture. Because I have a couple different sets of these, and I just thought it would be cool to have them, just one. So, plus they're kind of big. I mean, I don't necessarily mind big charms, but that way I can kind of double the quantity. um, and then I have these other things. Hold on. And some of you guys are probably going to go, why would you cut those up? Who would cut those up? But I bought them because I want to cut them up. So these old measuring sticks, like yardsticks. So I want to cut these into pieces and make them into charms. And I don't feel like doing it with with a hand saw. So anyway, I have a number of these, so I thought that would be kind of fun. Anyway, so I just wanted this little tiny saw to do that. And it, the way that it's made, like it has a little part where you screw the piece to kind of hold it steady, to hold it stable. And it's really tiny. Like you can only cut like little teeny tiny things. So there's another one that I think I'm going to get. It's more like a table saw. The one I bought has like a little circular blade, which is fine, but the one I'm going to get is more like a jigsaw where the blade just goes up and down. It's like a long skinny blade, but it's only, it's about this big. And I think I can use that. It's a little more expensive, but I think I can use that for other projects too, so that's good. Anyway. Oh, some of you guys have some of those too. Yeah, they're cool. And I know those are old and they're neat, but oh gosh, Kay, I don't know where I got them from, honestly. I can't remember. I know that Carla sent me some. Carla did send me some. Is Carla here? She told me she was going to come. There she is. There she is. Hi, Carla. Okay, do we have enough moderators in this house? Hi, Rosemary. So I thought it would be kind of fun to do sort of like a series of live streams. And, because there's just so many things you can do to make charms, right? Like, I mean, what's the definition of a charm, right? It's like basically something hanging on, a hook or a loop or a ring. Anything can be a charm, right? I think what qualifies something as a charm would be something small that's hanging and, decorative, so that can be anything really. The other tool that I got, which is something I've wanted for a long time, is a rock tumbler. Just a little tiny one. Not necessarily for tumbling rocks, but for tumbling glass. I have a whole container, this big container out in the garage that I've had for years, filled with just scraps of stained glass, all different colors. So I want to try tumbling that and then using the Dremel and drill holes in it to make charms. So anyway, and there's lots of ways that you can attach charms to things. You can glue on a piece like a bail. It's called a bail. Or you can drill a hole in it. You can wrap things with wire and make a loop. And, lots of different ways you can turn something into a charm. Like Sammy gave me this little rock, this little rock. He told me what it was, but I can't remember. I'll have to ask him. But, if I wanted to make this into a charm or a pendant, I could wrap it with wire and make a little loop on it, Anyway, so just lots and lots of different ways you can make charms. So I thought it would be fun to do a series of live streams and just kind of go through like maybe, like this one I thought would be good to just kind of focus on making things using paper and, paper and glue. And then maybe the next one we can do with, wood pieces where, you do some drilling and attaching screw eyes and things like that. And then, maybe another one we could make some bead charms and do some wire wrapping and things like that. So anyway, doesn't that sound like fun? Let's see. Yummy. Yeah, she is yummy. She is yummy. So I can't help but you know, look at things and say, oh my gosh, that would be a cool charm. So here's one of the things that I you guys remember the Campbell soup, um, you know, the Campbell soup cans that I had. I think I gave them away on a live sale. Well, the box that those came in had a bunch of just the little images, you know. So I cut that apart, or kind of pulled it apart, really, and just glued those here, and just glued those onto some heavy craft paper. And you know, I use the art glitter glue because it's a really strong glue, and then just, you know, just cut them out, and then I can make these into charms. So you know, like the paper packs that you get, you know, you always have the little squares of examples of, you know, what the paper looks like. Those make great charms too, or they also make great tabs. Anyway, so that's just, you know, one little idea. So some other things that, you know, that I kind of have laying around that I thought would be good to use for charms. These are pieces that came with a game. I don't know what the game was, but they're just little circles of chipboard, you know. And so instead of throwing them away, I thought, well, you know, I'll try to do something with them and make them into charms somehow. You know, it's a good base. You know, you can find things like the little ephemera pieces, the little Tim Holtz ephemera packs that you can get. Those are great for making into charms. Just, you know, these little bits. And you know, so they're kind of thin, but if you just glue them onto you know, a heavier paper or something, or even a couple layers of heavier paper, you can make that into a charm. And you could even make it two-sided, so you could have one on one side and one on the other. I think it's kind of fun to make a charm that people can write on, you know, so they can like label something or whatever. Anyway, so I said in the description that I thought it would be a good idea if you guys pulled out like all your paper punches, you know, and we can just kind of, you know, make some really simple charms just using paper punches and glue. So here we go. I have a thing for labels, so I make, you know, I always buy label punches if I can find them. All different, you know, this is a little big for a charm, but it's not too big, you know, but it is somewhat large. This is a little star. That's a good size, you know. And then like the little scallop circle, the larger scallop circle. These punches are okay. I don't particularly love this type of paper punch. They're just not as strong. They just something about the way what am I trying to say? They just don't have the leverage that that this type of punch has, you know. But they're okay, you know. They're not super great, but they're okay. The smaller ones that are like this kind of style, these are nice. They're kind of bulky, and I don't know, I think they're kind of difficult to, you know, you gotta kind of hold them in your hand a certain way if you're trying to line up something, you know, and do it backwards. This is another one. I've had this one for a really long time, but it's one of my favorite butterflies. Another one of those is a little hexagon. Anyway, so I love these little label punches. This one does 3 different sizes, which is fine, but sometimes I just want a bunch of that little one. So I'm trying to find one that's just that little tiny one. Stampin' Up makes one that I've got, that I'm watching on eBay, and I might pick it up. This one is actually like a Christmas kind of one, but it's little trees, and I thought, you could use that for other times of the year too. One of the punches that I really like to use for charms are these little thick ones, the thick paper punches. These are made by Fiskars, and these can punch through a pretty heavy chipboard. I wouldn't say necessarily a book cover, but they can punch through like a game board, some game boards. But you can definitely punch chipboard with these. So I have just a few of those. They don't make a ton of them, but this little guy is one of my favorites. It does a label shape. So it's just a kind of a smaller label shape. Anyway, so paper punches. So what I like to do is just kind of punch out a bunch of the shape that I think I want to work with, and just put them all in like a little container. Because, I never just make one of anything, right? So I punched out some of the little trees and some of the little ticket shapes and some of the labels, some of the little stars. And these are just out of plain craft paper, So I kind of have those, set those aside. And then actually, I think I want to do just some circles too. Where's my stack of craft paper? Actually, I'm just going to use some of this. This is scraps from file folders. So I'm just going to punch out some circles. And this is a great way to use up scraps, right? I mean, even patterned scrapbook paper that you don't necessarily love, just punch out a bunch of shapes so you have a quantity. Because and I know, Carla, you probably do this when you're making your buttons, where you just punch out multiples of the same shape, and then you kind of stack them up and glue them together as you stack them. Yeah, these ones don't punch through thicker stuff. I don't think so either, Carla. I mean, you can kind of get them to do it if you go sort of slow, but yeah, they're not super strong. Anyway, what is this oscillating tool? What are you talking about, Rosemary? What oscillating tool? There's some of that size, and then let me do some of this size. Yeah, you do have to be careful with them. I know, I'm always afraid I'm going to break it. So I don't really use them. I don't use them that much, but sometimes that's all there is, and you want to use that shape. So that's another reason why it's good to just punch out multiple shapes. So find a thinner paper that you can stack up. If you really want to use one of these, let's do a couple of this one. Yeah, like, see, they feel like they're going to break. Just punching through this, like file folder, you know. So, well, let me finish. I'll just finish doing. That one. Where's that other small one? Here it is. Yeah, the smaller one feels more sturdy, for sure. I also want to do some coins. So I ordered some drill bits that supposedly will drill through a lot of the different metals that coins are made out of. Some coins from different countries have different layers of metal in them, and some of the metal, like, I don't even know what some of those metals are, but some of them are really hard to drill a hole through, you know. Anyway, I did some little stars. I did some hearts. I have some hearts in here. Might as well do a few little hexagons. Sometimes I'll find paper punches like at the thrift store, and it'll be just like a whole bag of them or something. And if they're cheap enough, obviously I can't pass them up. And so I wind up with paper punches that I wouldn't normally buy. Like, I would not go and spend $8 on that shape. You know, I just wouldn't. So it probably came from one of those bags of punches from the thrift store. Like, the circles, I get it. I can understand buying circle punches, right? Because I use circle punches for a lot of things. But sometimes I have a hard time wrapping my brain around a square. Buying a punch for a square. I don't know. Anyway, okay, so punched out some shapes. Oh, this is a new punch that I just got. This Stampin' Up! One. It's a retired punch, but there's a seller, and I would recommend the seller if not for the fact that she won't combine shipping on multiple purchases, which really kind of annoyed me. So I only bought one punch from her. I would have probably bought like 4 or 5, but she wouldn't combine the shipping. So I just, you know, anyway, this didn't make any sense to me. She charges $8.99 for shipping because it's priority, and she shipped this in a padded priority envelope, and then it was also wrapped up in bubble wrap inside, which was great. But she said that if someone buys more than one punch, she puts them in a box. And so she adds $8.99 again, and then $8.99 again. And it's like, well, it only costs $14 to ship a medium priority box. And I know you can fit at least 4 or 5 punches in a medium priority box, probably a dozen if you do it right. Anyway, plus there's insurance on priority mail for damage at the post office. So I don't know. It just didn't make any sense. I'm just reading the chat. Oh, I'm sorry, Carla. I didn't see your question. Yeah, that's kind of what it sounds like to me too. And so I left her, I feel terrible about it, but I left her negative feedback. And, because I know that you have an option to revise your feedback when you do that, because the seller always sees that. Like if somebody leaves you terrible feedback on eBay, um, you get notified. And so you have an opportunity to kind of try to make it right. And so I messaged her, or she messaged me, and she was like, I'm going to ask you nicely to please, revise your feedback. And I said, okay, I'm willing to do that. But, I just want you to re examine your policy on combining shipping because, first of all, it's in your best interest to combine shipping. And I just felt like she's making money on shipping. And I just don't think that's okay. That was my whole thing, was like, you can't make a profit on shipping. I get it, like you can charge for shipping and handling, and that can include the cost of like packing materials and things like that. I know this has nothing to do with making charms, but so I just don't feel that sellers should profit from shipping charges. That's it. That was my deal with her anyway. So she was trying to make it right, and she actually refunded my shipping for that punch. And so then I reached out to her again like a week or so later, and I said, look, I'm interested in 4 other punches that you have in your shop, but I'm not going to pay more than $14 for shipping. And I'm willing to pay the price that you're asking for the punches, and she's never responded. So I said, and I even said, and I'll revise my previous feedback to 5 stars, positive feedback if you're willing to look at that, but she didn't want to do it. So it's like, whatever. Anyway. Yeah, I guess. I don't even know if that has anything to do with it about the profit. And see, I still have it, Laura. Um, it was just, it kind of just pissed me off, to be honest, because I really like the punches she has. She has a whole bunch of retired Stampin' Up punches, and a lot of them are retired. You can't find them anywhere else, and so this punch was one that she had that I wanted, but I wasn't going to pay that $8.99 for shipping again to buy it. So I wound up buying it from somebody else that offered it with free shipping. So I was like, okay. Anyway, this one's pretty cool. I like it. It does this cute little label. So this is another thing that I thought would be kind of fun to do for making those little notepads with the, where you glue them together. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to take a bunch of my scrapbook paper scraps and just make a bunch of labels or, little tags like this. And then, glue them at the bottom. And so you would have like a little notepad of little tags that you can, just pull one out. Anyway, I have a thing for stacks of paper, but anyway, so that's that. It's my rant about eBay eBay seller people. Anyway, this punch is pretty cool. This is the one that does the label shapes. It's an EK Success. Does EK Success own Stampin' Up or something? I'm just curious. Whatever. Whatever, Serenity. Yeah, I don't know about that. I'm the slowest shipper on the planet. I know that. Yeah, I won't either. See, that's the thing. I won't buy things from people that are profiting from shipping. And if, like I get it, eBay and even Etsy, like on Etsy, you have to be careful when you do your listing that you actually weigh the item. And I didn't used to do that. And it used to hurt me, I think. But now when I make my listings, I actually weigh the item and I add like 6 ounces for packing materials, because that is included in the weight. Um, So the shipping charges are accurate, you know, on my listings. You know, and on eBay, I don't know how they figure it. You know, I think maybe they're guessing at the weight or something, because sometimes there's items like, especially like something like a book, you know, and it's like $64 for shipping or something, and I'll message them and say, hey, is that accurate, you know? And then, you know, then they'll look at it. But I always message people on eBay if there's something like that where I think it's weird, you know. Anyway, okay, so I've got all those shapes punched out, and so I thought it would be fun to just take some scraps of scrapbook paper, and some of these aren't even scraps, but punch out some other kind of like images, you know, and just make some charms. Make some easy charms. All those offcuts, you know, you can use those. Use those for charms. I know you guys are probably like, well, what'd you need the embossing stuff for? Because I have an idea and I don't know if it's going to work or not, but I do have some ideas. See, these are those little, the little squares in the Tim Holtz papers. So like little things like that, I think make really cute charms. I remember when I first started discovering like this whole world of paper crafting and stuff and scrap, and I found some Tim Holtz papers. I used to fussy cut these little things. I used to fussy cut those out just because I thought those are so cool, you know, those cigar labels. Anyway, those are cool to fussy cut and make into charms. Anyway, I'm not going to use any of those at the moment. So I'm just trying to pull out some papers that I think would be cool as bases. These are Prima papers. I love those papers. Maybe a couple of those. You guys remember these? Those are Tim Holtz. Those over. Just sorting, you guys. You know what I love are those, what is it? 49 and what is it? I always forget the name of that company. 49 and Maine? Is that what it is? So these things, these pads, does anybody know what brand this is? I know you guys have seen these. They might be Prima. Some of these are kind of cool to use as charms too. You know what I really want is one of those little envelope punches, the McGill Crafts envelope punches, because I want to make charms with those. Oh, this is overwhelming. This is a pack of paper that I bought on Amazon. This is the packaging. I need a bigger desk, you guys. Just need a bigger desk. Anyway, this is the packaging that paper pack, or the, you know, it's like the cover. And I just thought these would be really pretty to use as charms. So I'm just going to punch. Actually going to use this one. Maybe do little heart. So are you guys making charms? Did you pull out all your punches and all your little images and stuff? Let's see. Where is that? Here it is. So this is the only thing I don't like about these punches is you wind up with all this scrap. You need a bigger house. Yes, 49 in Market. Yes, that's what it is. That's okay, Carla. I was just wondering. Anyway, see, don't ever throw away anything that has like these little images in it, because they're also cool to make charms with, right? Yeah, I'm gonna cut those out. I like these little guys. If I had a bigger house, I would just have more stuff, and I think things would get lost even worse. Like, I don't know where that heat gun is. It's here somewhere. Sebastian might have used it for something. I love these little, see, it's so pretty. Little scrolly paper. Let's see. Try to salvage. I try to salvage as much as I can off of those little things. Okay, gotta punch this. Gotta punch this. Let's just do some little circles. Where's my little circles? Here it is. So sometimes these little guys, these little punches, they won't cut through like really thin paper. So if you start having that kind of problem, just back it with something else, like a thicker piece of paper, and then you can punch through it. Like if you're punching like glassine envelopes or glassine paper or vellum. A lot of times vellum is really hard to punch cleanly. But if you just slip another piece of paper in there with it, it works pretty well. Yeah, it's hard for me to read the chat and do stuff at the same time, so I just ramble. Gosh, I think these are so pretty. Anyway, I'm not going to cut the rest of those out right now, but you get the idea, right? Little pretty paper things. Little snail. I know I'm kind of wasting some of this paper, but I'm trying to capture a certain part of the image. Yeah, see, and this has a, you have to cut the, when you're using this punch, because it punches a hole and a slot. If you don't, like, you have to cut your paper into strips to use it. Otherwise, you punch holes on either side of it. See what I mean? Anyway, I want this butterfly. Lots of shapes. So like this one. Of course, it's too small. And then this label shape. See, I think I can get a little tiny one there. I always pop these off accidentally. Oh, I need a sip of coffee. Good job, Missy. Good job. Yeah, book pages. Working on my soldering. Oh. Yeah, all kinds of stuff, right? I'm just kind of going back and reading the chat a little bit. Right on, Laura. Yeah, we need more new journalers. That's funny, Carrie. I know. That always happens. I knew that was going to happen, though, that so, someone was going to call me an enabler or something. Anyway, so I'm just trying to, okay, let me punch out some more of those little hexagons. Yes, 49 in Market. Oh my God. I have like 200 sheets of their paper in my cart on scrapbook.com right now. I love their paper. It's so nice. It's like nice, thick cardstock. Super nice. Okay, let's do a couple circles, a couple more circles. And then what other shapes do I have in here? Oh, this one. Where'd that come from? Oh, that came from here. Let's see. I don't know if this one will punch this heavy cardstock. Okay. Oh, there we go. This punch is really awkward. Like, I think they should have made this part longer or something. It's just, I don't know. It's like really kind of stiff or something. I don't know. I don't know exactly what the problem is, but it doesn't feel super great. Let's use some of this. And it kind of bends the corners of paper. I'm gonna do some more of this because I think that looks really cool. Some of the trying to capture this paper has the name of the plant specimen, and I'm trying to see if I can capture it. And then we could do another one where, you know, making charms like in little cabochons, you know, like little circles or, you know, different shapes. And then use the UV resin. one. It's pretty easy to accumulate a gigantic pile pretty fast. Okay, that's good for now. I always keep my circle punches like at hand, you know. I have this punch too. It does this, you know, kind of like longer, like tag shape, but it's kind of big, I think, for a charm, you know. I don't know. Okay, let me move some of this paper stuff out of the way, guys. Okay, it's a big giant mess now. So then I will just pull out these shapes, you know, out of the craft paper and stuff. And then these are the ones that I punched out of the, you know, scrapbook paper, except for these are not. Those I'll have to do something else with, but where's the rest of them? So then I'll just find, so I've got this little guy, this little label shape. Just find like 2 of that shape punched out of the craft paper. And you really want to make sure you get around the edges. The center isn't as important, but so you do wind up with glue kind of squishing out, but I think it's important that you kind of really squish it out to the edges. Otherwise, it's not going to be solid, and it'll kind of start to separate over time. So just glue a couple of those shapes together, and then I'll add that guy. And I could add another one on the back too, if I have one. Yeah, add one of these little flowers on the back, because if it's a charm and it's hanging like on a journal, chances are, you'll see the back of it too, So I don't always do them with 2 sides, because sometimes I like to have the back plain, and then if somebody wants to write on it, they can. But anyway, so that just makes it kind of a sturdy, durable little charm that you can attach to a journal. Obviously I would let these dry before I went too crazy, but just that simple, right? Just that simple little layers of paper. And I think that's a charm. I would call that a charm. You know, maybe you'd want to ink around the edges or something like that. Or maybe you want to coat it. But I don't really think it needs anything. I think it's fine just the way it is. If you coated it with something, then people wouldn't be able to write on it anymore. But let's see. So I wanted to try... I want to use some paper that doesn't have a lot of... Dang it. Well, that one's okay. I wanted to use some papers that don't have much going on. And just try doing like some stamping and embossing. Sue, my friend Sue, she sent me some embossing powders that I've been wanting to try. Just like some little samples of some embossing powders. I kind of wanted to try. Hang on. Let me grab... This is how I wind up with like a million of everything. That one. That thing is hard to punch. Just wanted some more plain kind of pattern paper. How could a small pin be made into a charm? You have that one too? Yeah, it's really like, but it's really cool at the same time. I like the shapes, but it's hard to push it down. A small pin. So I was thinking what we could do on one of these little episodes is just using weird items to make charms, like ways that you can turn something, like especially junk jewelry, because I have a bunch of pieces of junk jewelry that are don't have any like little bail on it. There's no holes on it. There's nothing that you can attach something to make it into a charm. So I thought that would be kind of fun, sort of challenging to make to do that and work through some problems that way. There's lots of different things you can do. You can drill a hole somewhere, you can wrap it with wire, or you can glue something onto it using a really strong glue like E6000 or something like that, like glue a bail onto it. A bail, if you don't know what a bail is, it's like a thin piece of metal, almost like foil, kind of. It can be really, really thin or a little thicker, I guess, than foil, but it has like two pieces that are connected in the center, and then you fold it over. So like one half is on the front and the other half is on the back. And when you fold it in half and glue it on, you wind up with like a loop at the top. It's a little more. If you look up a, wire bail or jewelry bail or pendant bail on Amazon or something, you can find them. But that's sometimes the easiest thing to do. Like if you want to use dominoes, using a bail is sometimes the easiest thing to do. You just have to use a really good glue. You have to use some kind of glue that will adhere to metal and glass or plastic. Sometimes that's a challenge to find, but E6000 is a really good glue for that. Okay, where's those little, here they are. Anyway, so now I'm kind of, resin. Yeah, exactly. I've seen a lot of people actually use UV resin for gluing things, which is kind of cool. I actually want to try that, like with a you can get like a little pen light that's a UV light. It's just like it's like a little pen with a light, and you can add just like a dot of UV resin on something, and then use that little pen light and to set the resin. I've seen people using those on YouTube. You know what I've been watching the last couple of days is this channel called Soft White Underbelly on YouTube. Have any of you guys watched that channel? Soft White Underbelly. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, see, and those types of pins, I think, so they're the kind that have like the little pokey thing, right? And then the little clasp on the back. What I would probably do is glue that little clasp in place, like so it's permanent. And then sometimes there's like a little hole in that piece on the back. You could probably attach like a jump ring to that, or you could use anything to punch a hole through that, like before you attach it to make it permanent. You could even just use a nail with a hammer. Try that. See if you could set it on like a piece of wood or something. See if you can hammer a hole through it, or you can drill a hole through it. Or you can drill a hole right through like the very corner of the pin, of like the front of the pin or something. That kind of thing. Yeah, isn't it a trip? It's a trip, that channel. So there's a video on there that I watched last night it's an interview with a hacker. And it's really interesting. So if anybody's curious, go check it out. It's actually a really cool channel. The guy, my son turned me onto it, and but the guy that runs it, or that, he's an interviewer. It's all interviews. It's all just interviews of just different people. He did a whole series of interviews of people in the Appalachians and Appalachians, and like this one guy, he's a moonshiner, and another, he addresses the meth epidemic in that area with a lot of these people. But these are just everyday people that he goes and talks to, and he just sets up his little camera in his little studio and interviews people. But he's also interviewed a lot of people on Skid Row in LA. And it's just, I don't know. I mean, yeah, some of them are kind of depressing, but I think it's just really interesting to hear from real people that are living in these situations, So anyway, check it out. He's got, I mean, I think there's like 700 different, I'm looking for some more of these. I think he has like 700 videos or something. Dang it. I'm trying to find more of this shape. I got to punch some. Yeah, soft white underbelly. And then today I've been watching all these here, I'll just show you really quick why I'm watching this. So I have this little box. It's like I don't remember where I got it, but it's this box. Where's the drawer? Oh, the drawer's in there. So it's like a jewelry box. See, so it has this drawer, and then this was in here, right? So this was like a section. That's the drawer. So this came out of here. And then this is the lid. So I have like new hardware that I might use if I can't salvage what's already on here, like the hinges broke. Anyway, so I want to try to restore this little box because I just think it's really cool. And I have a couple other pieces like this that I've just wanted to just, work on. So I've been watching videos on mostly this guy in Russia that is restoring just all of this super like damaged old wood pieces, and he's restoring them. And just what he goes through with just details of like adding pieces of wood where something broke or rotted out or something, and just amazing. It makes me want a whole wood shop. The trip to Walmart with that family killed me. I haven't seen that one. Yeah, Stephanie. I mean, I'm not saying it's like super uplifting or anything, um but I think it gives us some reality. Like, I don't know. I just think it's a good reality check sometimes, to anyway. One of the ones that one of the ones that I watched last night that I just thought this guy is a trip is um there, there's a couple videos that are interviews with pimps, and one of them is what's his name? What is his name? It's like Mr. Magnificent or something like that. I don't remember. But it's a good one. It's a good one. It's a trip. And you just sit there like, I can't believe that these are like real people in the world. Um, but part of the reason that I'm interested in, especially the ones on Skid Row, is because my brother, it's kind of sad, but I mean, it's really sad actually, but my brother is about a year older than me, a little more than a year older than me, 15 months. And when he was 16, he was in a really bad car accident. He was a passenger in a car in Bend, Oregon, where we were living. Um, they were racing on a dead end road, and um, anyway, they lost control of the car, and it was like a dead end road, but at the end of the road, it turned off onto like a dirt road. And they all knew that, and so that was kind of part of the deal, was that they would hit this dirt section and then they'd have to turn, but there was this giant tree right at that turn on the other side of the road, and the driver of the car my brother was in lost control of the car and it slammed into that tree. And so my brother was injured pretty badly and had head injury. And I know this is super depressing, huh, you guys? Anyway, so he had a head injury, and he was in a coma for 6 months or something, and had to go to like rehab and learn to walk and talk and eat and use the bathroom and all that stuff all over again. Anyway, so over the years, I'm 52, so he's 53. Over the years, he's just, he's just struggled with, because of the head injury. Um, he has like short-term memory problems and fine motor skill issues. Like he has his balance is not super great. So consequently, he's been in quite a few other accidents because of that on his bicycle. And he's literally run into a stop sign like 4 times on his bicycle. But so long story short, my brother is homeless, and he's been homeless for, gosh, the last 15 years, 20 years almost. And he lives in Sacramento. And so I don't know, like I'm identifying with some of the people on that show, on that channel that I mentioned, because it makes me kind of have some reality on my brother a little bit. I don't know. Especially the people on Skid Row. Because I think that a lot of times those people in those circumstances, they are like lost. They're like lost people, and they're invisible to us, And I think it's because we just don't want to face it. Like, we don't want to accept that that could be us, or that could be your brother or your sister or something. So anyway, moving on. Yes, different perspective. Exactly. So we hear from my brother every now and then. And, just about the time that we start wondering if he's still alive, he'll call. He's just had a rough time. And, he's had a lot of drug addiction problems, and he's been to rehab, like, I don't even know how many times. He's on disability, and, um, he's now he's at the point where I honestly don't think he can come back from where he is. Like, I think he's far gone to the point where I don't think there's any way he could come back. But I just want to know that he's safe where he is, so. It does bring out a lot of compassion. And I think that's why I mentioned it, I guess, because you guys are all compassionate people, I think. You always seem that way to me anyway. Okay, so I punched out some. Well, let me do some of these little guys too. I like these little label shapes. So you get the idea, right? I'm just gluing a couple of the craft paper pieces together, and then, let's do some of those hexagons. And then just attaching a piece of the scrapbook paper to it. It's kind of fun. It's just, I could sit here and do this all night. Just gluing paper. Gotta really try to make sure that they're lined up nicely, though. This one's kind of thin. I'm going to do 3. So obviously when the glue dries, that makes it even stiffer. So keep that in mind. But, you just want to glue enough layers that you think it's going to be sturdy. Wipe the edges. My mom has gone through a lot of emotional, I don't know, it's kind of an emotional roller coaster with my brother. It's like, I can't imagine what it would be like if one of my kids was in the position that my brother is in. And but at the same time, it's like, he's been dangerous. Like, I think I've talked about him on live streams before, but he has threatened people in my family and has been physically violent with people in my family. And honestly, like, it's kind of scary, like, because he's not like a little guy either. And it's kind of scary. So he's sort of burned his bridges with anybody in our family that lives in California still, for sure. And he has warrants for his arrest here in Washington. So, it's just a weird situation. But I'm going to put another hexagon on the back of this one. Let's do a couple circles. Invisible People. I'll have to check it out. And the guy that runs Soft White Underbelly, he has a GoFundMe set up to where he offers some assistance to some of the people that you see in his videos too. Yeah. Yeah, Renee, it's just, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think, and I think about that, you know, all of these people that you just, especially if you live like in a big city, you know, you see it more, obviously. But, um, you know, you walk by those people and it's like they really are invisible to most of society, right? Like, um, because it's so ugly. Have you guys watched are any of you guys big Game of Thrones fans? Um if you've watched it as many times as I have, then I think you'll remember there's a scene where Cersei is talking with the High Sparrow, and the High Sparrow is talking about, or no, he's not talking with Cersei. He's talking with Marjorie, and I think, and he's talking about how she said that she loved poor people, and you know, um, whatever. It's that conversation, and he says something like, uh, "We despise them because they are us." Like that's 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 why we don't want to look at them, you know. But they are us, you know. Anyway, okay, I'll change the subject now. So just glue and paper. Just glue and paper. This is why I wanted to do this on a live stream, because I knew it would be long. Okay, so that's the basic idea with just using paper punches and scrapbook paper. And then obviously then you can embellish those however you want. I was thinking it would be fun to just do some embossed stamping on some of them. Let me put these away for now. I'm just going to put them all in the same little deal. But then I thought, okay, it would be kind of fun with the same idea, with the same paper, you know, punching out these different shapes, to just punch out images too. Like, you'd obviously have to be kind of careful with how you use your punches, because you don't want to punch all, you know, like, especially like with this one, you don't want to punch there because, you know, you wind up with a hole in a slot somewhere where you don't want it. But I thought it'd be kind of cool to cut some of these printouts of the cabinet cards, and then some other ephemera pieces. So this I actually printed on sticker paper. But obviously, you know, it doesn't have to be on sticker paper. So here's the thought, is that cut them out. Let's do a couple. Let's see. These are just some old like sewing ephemera pieces, like, so like labels, you know. button cards, things like that. Just print them out kind of small. Print them on sticker paper, makes it kind of not actually, to be honest, the main reason I printed them on the sticker paper isn't because of the sticker part, but it's because it's like photo paper on the front. That's why I chose the sticker paper. Okay, just a couple. These are some obviously spools of thread that I just set on the scanner bed and scanned them. I'll probably go to prison for doing that, but I'm going to try to punch these. See how well they'll punch. Some of them. Yeah. Perfect. A little bigger. There we go. Gosh, that was depressing, wasn't it, you guys? Okay, so just an idea, you know, if you have a bunch of wooden thread spools, put them on your scanner bed and print them out. They're kind of fun, right? Let's cut these out. These little cards, this was a set of old maid cards that I scanned. Pretty old ones. Again, I'll probably go to prison for scanning these, but maybe not if you guys don't tell anybody. It is cold in here. No, I haven't done that. I haven't cut up corks. I have seen that, and that was one of the things actually that I wanted to do with that little saw is cut some corks and make them into charms, because it is pretty cool. And then I just wanted to show you guys, there's so much ephemera stuff on Etsy that you can buy and print out, you know, that you can make into charms. Just this guy, I'll leave a link in the description to his shop. Just I bought, I don't even remember how many listings I bought, but tons. All of these cool, like these are milk caps. Those are fun to use. And then these are bottle caps. And then all these little labels, you know, do the same thing with those. Cut them out. Let's do some kind of smaller ones. Let's do this airmail one. This is like the most simple making charms project, right? But I thought it would be kind of fun to maybe try using the embossing pen and just try to maybe emboss some of the letters or something. I don't know. I also want to talk about different types of coatings, because I like to kind of make my charms sort of, you know, durable. Like, I do like to make them kind of durable. Otherwise, they just get kind of messed up. You know, when they're banging around on the cover of a journal. I even try to imagine someone using them like on a keychain, and how durable do they need to be for that. So the UV resin is pretty sturdy. Like it's pretty hard when it's set. When I discovered UV resin, I was like, oh my God, there's so many cool things you can do with it. It's gotten more expensive, I've noticed, though. I just like these little tags. Okay, so these I can probably punch. Let's see. I like that one. It's got a moose on it. Okay, so the ones that I punched out, obviously I can use some of my papers that, you know, I punched out. But these, I've got to kind of go about those in a different way. So I'm going to just use a piece of chipboard and just glue them onto a piece of chipboard. It's kind of a thin piece of chipboard. Whoops. So it's on sticker paper, so I got to peel the back off. But but I'm still going to glue it down. Where's my awl? I use my awl for everything. It's actually pretty strong sticker glue, but, or, you know, on the back of the sticker, but I'm adding some glue anyway. So I'm just going to, you know, try to glue it right up to the edge as much as I can. Reading the what you call it, the chat. It could be, Darla, that might be the name of it. I can't, I have to, let me look on Etsy. I'll see. I think it is. I think I talked about this guy one time before. He has tons of stuff. Purchases. I think you're right. Okay, hold on. What did you say you thought it was? Rare Paper Digital Shop. Yep, that's it. Exactly. Good job, Darla. How'd you know that? Oh, there you go. Good job. Thanks, you guys, Rosemary, for the info. You're trying to get the courage to use your texture paste? Yeah, well, you know, texture paste can be fun. You know what I love is crackle paste. Crackle paste is my favorite. Crackle paste and walnut. Oh my God, I can't think of anything. Walnut crystals. Yeah, that shop has so many cool ephemera pieces. It's unbelievable. I don't even remember how many listings I bought from him, but I think it was probably like 10 or 12 different listings. And then he was really cool also. I wanted just some single images for some reason. I can't remember why, but he worked with me on that too. Like I think I might have just wanted like some tags or something. I don't know. But but he was super nice, and he even did give me a little bit of a discount. But yeah, 30% off. That's a good deal. Okay, so some of these other things like it is freezing in my house right now. I have no firewood. Okay, so what was this about a workshop? Were you talking to Rosemary? Because I know Rosemary does workshops. Are you talking to me, Vicki? Are you asking me, did you ever do in-person workshop pre-COVID? No, I have not. And I probably would not. Just not, I don't know. Maybe, but I don't know. It depends. I think this is probably about as much as I could manage doing a live stream. So yeah, I'm sending that saw back. I don't like it. It's just too small. So it's not going to work. I was trying to save some money and not buying that other one, but anyway, this is taking a little bit longer because I'm having to peel the backing off of all these. So if you glue them on chipboard, you know, you might be able to get away with just one layer, you know. Sometimes I'll do 2 layers if I want it to be really thick. I had this book a long time ago. I can't remember what the book was. It was something about it was like split up by decade, and it just had all these really cool images in it of all kinds of objects from all the decades of the last century. And I made a lot of them into charms and used them on my journals. Some of them actually I just made like flat pieces like this, and then I didn't actually make it a charm. I just used it like on the edge of a page on a journal or something, you know. But if any of you guys go and buy stuff from him, you should add a note in there and tell him I sent you. It's been a long time. It's been a long time since I bought those listings. But we conversated for a couple days back and forth about all these things that I wanted. Anyway, he's got some really cool I didn't print any of them, but really cool baggage tags. Like tons of them. I doubt if they were things that he owned and scanned. He probably bought the digital images somewhere and then just did some editing or something. I don't know, but kind of like what Tim Holtz does. Although a lot of the stuff he has, Tim Holtz, I mean, are a lot of the things that he uses, especially like, like the little cans and things like that. Um, those are things that he owns. But okay, I need some more circles. Let me use this. I need some more of this size. I did enjoy the interviews on that channel with the with like the old ladies from Appalachia. I don't know how you're supposed to say it, but some of them were so cute. Like this, like 87-year-old lady, and just they're so cute. All right, so I got to make sure I got the right size circle here. I know, I miss the sound of the fire too. Yeah, what scares you about the texture paste? What's the deal? Are you using it with like stencils or something? I feel like that's what most people use it with. Stencils. I miss the fire too. So I had gone on Facebook Marketplace looking for firewood, and I was seeing all these, listings for people selling firewood. Um, I'm gonna actually put another one on here because this is pretty thin. Uh, anyway, so I started messaging people. I was like, a cord of wood for $60? Heck yeah, and I was getting all excited. Anyway, so all then people started messaging me back, and they were like, well, because I was asking, is this still available and how much for delivery to Spokane and kind of like the general area in Spokane where I live. And they were like, where is Spokane? And that kind of stuff. Well, I had forgotten to filter it for, close to me, listings close to me. So I was kind of bummed, but yeah, so a cord of wood in these parts, decent firewood, is probably about $300 to have it delivered. So yeah, just hasn't been on my priority list. Whoops. Is this sticker paper? Dang it. That other one was on sticker paper and I forgot that one. Got to be careful when you're using the sticker paper because it's really easy to misalign it. Dang it. Yeah. I messed that one up good. Okay, that one's going in the garbage. Let's do a thread label. Oh, yeah. Well, Nancy, there's so many people that are really amazing with mixed media. Rosemary, for one. Who is that other girl that I used to love watching? Marta? What's her channel called? You guys know who I'm talking about. Somebody help me out. Her name is Marta, I think, but I can't remember the name of her channel. Yes, Maremi Small Art. Yes. Yeah. She does great stuff, and I love watching how she just builds a piece, and she's so sweet. Like, I don't know, she just seems like such a nice person, but she uses texture paste a lot and has some great ideas about how to use it, and of course gives you lots of other ideas. But I will forewarn you that her studio is like amazing. Like, as far as her supplies, she's got like the most extensive supply of mixed media materials, and a lot of it is store-bought stuff. It's not she doesn't use a lot of like found objects and stuff, but cool for starters. Oh, really, Shauna? That's cool. I noticed that she has kind of teamed up with I'm kind of out of the loop on that kind of stuff, but lately. But she's pretty good friends with what's her name on the Frugal Crafter, Lindsay. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, I'm not going to do a ton of those, but little circles, just little pieces of ephemera, right? That you can cut out. Need a pair of sort of heavy scissors. Oh, these might work. Yeah. So as far as crackle paste, I use the golden crackle paste. It's not cheap, but it's cool. And then walnut crystals, you really can't buy the wrong thing if you just search walnut crystals. It's like a I think I have them right here. Yeah. No. Walnut ink crystals. See? Actually, I'm going to try to cut this. I'm going to try to cut this arrow out. Oh, this is not going to be easy. Got it. So I guess this kind of idea and just, gluing these images onto some kind of chipboard is sort of like making your own Tim Holtz kind of style ephemera chipboards, right? Like the pieces that they sell in the packages. And then you can make those into charms too, right? So this is kind of like making your own version of that type of thing. These little guys, these little cards, I think I'm going to round the corners on those. And I might round the corners on some of those other pieces. A lot of times with charms, I like to round the corners on the pieces because I feel like they, what's the word I'm looking for? They kind of jingle around better. Like the corners don't get caught on the other items that are in the kind of charm bundle, So you guys probably noticed I scanned some of my just like cans of things, like old cans, the Scotch tape, old Sucrets can, this one is like paper fasteners, so look, if you have any of that kind of stuff in your collection, you could definitely make those into little charms. That one's a little too big, but I doubt if you would wind up going to prison, but it is possible. I mean, Just saying. That's my disclaimer. Oh, that one's not going to work. I need this small. This corner rounder I love for paper, for like just thin paper stuff, but it won't handle chipboard. What did I do there? Anyway, you get the idea. So those will go in the pile of things that need to get glued. There's some little charms. Here's some little charms. And then, of course, you could always do like little collages on these. You know, you could get really detailed and add little labels, or, you know, different types of things. Or you could use some of your collage that you've already done and use some of those like these thick paper punches. Actually, that one's too small, but I love this big heart shaped one. Cut some of these. This one always gets stuck. Where's my other ones? Could do just some of the circles. Yeah, see, this one doesn't get stuck. I don't know what the deal is with that other one. And then this little label shaped one. love this punch. Okay, so on this, the ones that won't fit. The collage pieces, so these are just like collaged on file folder, okay? With like other, there's some washi tape, some masking tape, other kinds of things on there, but they're not super thick, but lots of book pages and whatnot. So I thought it'd be fun to do some stamping, just simple stamping, like some letters or maybe a little bee. Look at this little stamp I bought at Joann's today. Isn't it cute? I thought those would be really cute little charms, because you get all three sizes on one stamp. So those would be really cute to emboss, I think. Anyway, and then I got this little bee. I always buy bee stamps, and they're always the same stamp. Well, almost. It's slightly different, right? Ever so slightly different. But anyway, and then I got this set of an alpha set. I don't think I have this size or font already, so it's possible that I already have it, because I do that. I buy the same thing over and over, especially with yarn. I buy the same color over and over and over. And I just bought a new embossing stamp pad just because they were half price, and the other one that I have is one of those big, huge ones. So I thought it would be nice to have a smaller one. Ew, it's super sticky. And then I got a white. So this one is chalk ink, so that's not going to work with embossing powder, but I have a re-inker of white chalk ink, but I didn't have a stamp pad, so I bought this one so that I could use it and then also use that re-inker. I need to get some empty stamp pads because I have a bunch of re-inkers that I got at a thrift store, and I don't have pads. I have a whole bunch of chalk ink, but also a whole bunch of other Stampin' Up! Ink pads or re-inkers. And I don't know if any of you, maybe some of you guys remember, long time ago, I bought a whole box of Stampin' Up! Stamp pads. Like, it was probably like 50 of them or 60 of them. It was a ton. And a lot of them were kind of dried up, but I said to myself, one day you're going to find a whole box of re-inkers that go with these stamp pads. So hang on to them. And sure enough, one day I was at a thrift store and I found this whole big bag full of re-inkers of Stampin' Up! Inks. And so I came home and I was so excited. I couldn't find the stamp pads. I think I gave them back to the thrift store. I was so mad at myself. Anyway, so I need some empty stamp pads. Okay, I gotta look at the chat. Non-existent except when the government shut down the country. I know, isn't that crazy, Carla or Darla? Darla. I know, I was super mad. I swear those stamp pads are here somewhere though. I just don't know where I put them. I don't know. Maybe they're in the garage. We don't have an attic, so anyway, so this is just, I don't know, just an idea, right? Like this is just, I don't know how this is going to work out, but it was just an idea I had to just do some embossing. And of course, the peg stamps are awesome for charms. Peg stamps are awesome for charms. Please don't go spend $500 on peg stamps, you guys. I mean, you can do whatever you want, but I'm just saying. A lot of these I bought from them. It's Tapestry. What is it? Tapestry.com or something. Pegstamps.com. I got a gift card to, I asked for gift cards to this store 10 years ago or something. And so I had a goodly amount of gift card to their shop. And that's how I got a lot of these stamps. And then some of them I actually found at thrift stores. So like this one. Yeah, rubber stamp tapestry. So this one came from a thrift store too. You can see the tag on it. Anyway, you do find them at thrift stores sometimes. But they're kind of fun, you know, just little stamps. God, I'm so cold. I can't believe how cold I am. So I want a label stamp too. I was gonna do I gotta look at the chat again. Yeah, lately, Bonnie, I know I did probably put them in a safe place. Finely hidden, probably in a box with no, that I can't see through. Yeah, and yeah, you can make your own peg stamps for sure. And that was another thing that I wanted that little saw for, was because I have a bunch of stamps like that. Like even like these, like I wanted, maybe not these in particular, but stamps like this, right? I want to take them off of the mounts that they're on and put them on a bigger mount so that I'm more likely to use it and it's easier to handle, because I have a bunch of little wooden like letter stamps, and I don't use them because they're so hard to deal with. I don't know. Anyway, so let's see what we can do here. In case anybody is, wanting, in case anybody cares to know, if you want to use embossing powder with like regular ink, you can, but you have to use pigment ink. You can't use like a dye-based ink and then lay embossing powder on it because it won't stick. but pigment ink, you can. Does that make any sense? Okay, so I'm just going to stamp a little label shape on there. It came out kind of light, but that's okay. I bought a re-inker for this color. It's that ladybug color, and I love it. It's so cool. I don't like, it's not as good as the Stays On Blazing Red, but it's still very cool. I'm going to stamp another. See, I'll show you the difference. Well, that one came out really light, but I should have cleaned it off first, huh? Anyway, it's a little bit different. The Blazing Red is more... Ooh, I should do one on here. The Blazing Red is more of a pinky red, and the Ladybug Red is more of a, like, kind of like a fire engine red or something. Yeah. I don't know why it's not stamping as dark. Maybe I didn't re-ink this one. Anyway, I just wanted a little label shape on a couple of those. So I was thinking it'd be kind of fun to take... Here's my embossing pen. And maybe just kind of go over some of these numbers. I don't know if this is going to work or not, but this embossing pen is probably old. But we'll see. I just want to see if I can give it a little bit of texture. I'm going to use the sparkly clear. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Let's see how the new heat gun works. Oh, it wasn't clear. It's white, but that's okay. It's like snow. I forgot that was the snow one, but you can still see the black through it. You can find a Dremel. The Dremel that I have, Bonnie. Are you in the US? Where is the clear? Maybe I'll just do black. Anyway, you can find the Dremel that I have is actually, it's only about $50. It's not super expensive. It's like the 100 series or something. I think I put a link in one of my videos. I said I was going to do a tools video a while back, and I haven't done it yet. Anyway, I'm just kind of like using the embossing pen and sort of highlighting some of the elements on this scrapbook paper. Ooh, I need to put this lid on. I mean, this is a lot of work to go through for but this adds a little bit of texture, you know. And then here, I was going to show you guys, this is my favorite thing to coat stuff with in mass, right? Like if you have a lot of things that you want to spray or coat with a clear coat, it's that Krylon triple thick crystal clear glaze. And I do get it on Amazon, and it's usually about $5 a can, something like that. Sometimes you can find it cheaper on there. If you look at other sellers, sometimes I've found it cheaper. But I mean, the last time I bought this, I think I bought 6 cans, so I haven't had to buy it for a long time. But my mom uses it on all kinds of things, and I use it on all kinds of things. And it's a nice quality, like glossy coating for all kinds of stuff. So that's probably what I'm going to wind up doing with a lot of these charms, is spraying them, and then others I'll coat in different ways. But if you, so you can do the embossing powder coating. I don't really like that way of coating, like just using like the ultra thick embossing enamel. Like you can use this as a clear coat over your, you know, your design or whatever, but it never gets quite all the way smooth, you know. So it's okay to, I like it, but it does leave a texture on the surface. It doesn't, I don't think you can get it like perfectly like glassy smooth, like you can with like resin or with the triple thick. So this is not the original bottle that this comes in, but you guys probably old school know that I've always used triple thick. Is made by Deco Art, and I used to get it at Hobby Lobby, and don't know if you can find it on Amazon or not, but at Hobby Lobby you can find it. It's really a nice coating, and what's cool about it is that it's almost exactly like, somebody help me with what's the yeah, what's the hold on, what is it that I always say this triple thick is like? Not diamond glaze, but the other stuff. It's like diamond glaze, but it's not diamond glaze. It's the one that's made by, yes, Glossy Accents. Yes. This is exactly like Glossy Accents, you guys. Exactly. And it's like 1/10 the price of Glossy Accents. I'm telling you, it's exactly the same. Anyway, So don't buy glossy accents anymore. Save the bottle that you bought your glossy accents in and just refill it with the Deco Art triple thick. It's exactly the same. I'm telling you, it even smells exactly the same. If you use a lot of it, you know what I mean? Because I used to make a lot of like tiles, you know, like art tiles. And I would go through a lot. And I was not going to pay that for glossy accents, but it works exactly the same. And here's the thing that's cool about it is that the viscosity of it is such that you can apply it onto the surface and it won't spill over the edges. And that's one of the things that's really neat about glossy accents. I'm trying to find something that I can use as a tray. Okay, this will work. I know I haven't really done much of anything. I'm really just trying to give you guys ideas about things. But so like just this little piece, right? I hope this works. So if you just kind of slowly leak it on there, you can really kind of pile it up on there, you know. It's kind of thick, like it's a good amount. You want it to stay flat. You definitely need it to be flat. But this will dry clear. And then you can punch a hole through it with the crocodile. Okay, so see, I just used my little awl to sort of spread it out to the edges. This board is kind of opening up. Anyway, so that's what I do. That's what I like to do with these pieces, is just coat them with something like that, or spray them with that with this glaze. But I'll do like 3 coats. Okay, like the first coat just kind of seals it. The second coat kind of seals it a little more, and then you can go real heavy on the third coat, and it gives you a nice thick kind of really cool glassy finish. So that's what I wanted to do with these guys with the embossing too, is I wanted to just use the triple thick liquid coating. It's weird that they kind of have the same name. One is made by Deco Art, this one. And then that can one is a Krylon product. But they're both called triple thick. As long as this stays flat, it shouldn't ooze over the edges. Now, this is one thing that you cannot do with resin. Resin will just spill right off the edges, and you'll have a mess. You'll have a big mess, and you'll just have to throw the whole thing in the garbage because it just doesn't work. You have to have something as a border around the edges of whatever it is to use resin. Unless, I mean, you don't have to, but otherwise you're going to have to grind it off like around the edges. So anyway, I'm going to put I need to put some kind of a clip on here to keep that from opening up. Anyway, I just wanted to show you that that's one of the ways that you can use that triple thick is as a nice clear coating for charms, and it's very dimensional. Like um, it kind of domes a little bit, so that's nice. So you can actually add like three-dimensional objects in there too. Like I've used like little charms, little metal charms, or things like that in like make a little composition, and then just squirt this stuff on it, and you've got a really cool charm. So anyway, let me put this over here so the cats don't get it. Those cats are in big trouble. They knocked down a whole bunch of stuff off of this shelf this morning. Okay, I'm putting the peg stamps back down here. I just wanted to show them to you guys for inspiration. Peg stamps are fun for that kind of stuff, for charms. Where's my little labels? So I wanted to do, let's do this little bee. I want to emboss it though. Is this gonna work? I don't know. Yeah, he'll probably work. Oh yeah, see? That was a mistake. It's stuck where the label is. I needed to dry it first. The ink that I stamped that label with was pigment ink. And so when I sprinkled the embossing powder on where I stamped that little bee, the powder stuck to the frame, also to the label shape also. So so I just brushed it off, wiped it off, but what happened was it actually wiped off all of the ink too. So I only have part of my label shape on there now, but that's okay. I don't care. I just want the bee mostly. And then I dried it with the heat gun. So hopefully the powder wouldn't stick to the rest of the label shape. I do love embossing and like embossing powder and stuff. It's super cool, but I always forget about it. I always forget to use it. Oh, he's so cute. I like that little bee. Anyway, so I'm just going to emboss little stamped images on these kind of plants. This one is, I'm not doing anything to that, but Just want to add some little stamped images on these labels or on these shapes. Maybe I'll finally use this dragonfly. Ouch. I don't feel like getting out my whole giant thing of stamps. Let's do this ladybug. Make sure I have some red. Ew, I don't know what that is. That's pretty dark red. We'll see. Some of this embossing powder is really old. It doesn't work so great when it gets old. It starts to clump together and stuff. Do you ever blow your nose after you've been doing embossing and it's like blue or green or something or red? Anyway, so that's kind of fun. Just little embossed images. I wanted to do some words too. I thought, like, you know, make some label shapes, do some of these label shapes, and then stamp out some words like noted or miscellaneous. Let's see how big these are. These are going to be totally wonky because I'm stamping with the clear. I'll try to make them sort of line up. Curious to see how badly I line those up. Actually looks kind of cool. See, it's all off center. All right. So that's that. Just a couple other things. I'm going to sign off here pretty soon in a few minutes. But I also wanted to just quickly show you guys these sticker books are all full of charms, right? Like all kinds of images in here that you could totally just stick onto a piece of paper, a piece of cardstock or whatever, with a couple layers of craft paper in between, and even just make circles. And you've got, that's funny that I turned to the same exact page. Anyway, and these stickers have a border around them, so they're pretty easy to fussy cut. Like if you glue this onto, like, here, I'll show you what I mean. You can glue it onto, so it's a sticker obviously, but you need to glue it on also, otherwise it's gonna just come off, right? But this is a good way to make charms too, just using these little stickers. So then you can cut it out. Whoops. It's a double piece. They're pretty easy to fussy cut. And don't try to fussy cut it perfectly, because what you'll do then is take this and then see, that's not really very thick, right? Like that's still pretty flexible. So glue it down again. But I do this a lot, and glue it down again onto the same type of paper, cut it out again, and glue it down again if you want to, like if it's still not thick enough or sturdy enough. And it becomes easier to cut it out every time because you've got that kind of that border to cut up against. You know what I'm saying? So then it just gets a little bit more stable. I would probably do that one more time. And then you have a nice kind of sturdy little charm. And then you could spray that. You could coat that with the triple thick, or you could spray them with this, or you could use the clear embossing enamel or something like that. Anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there, that these sticker books are a great source of images for charms. They're just obviously with the letters, these like, look at all the bugs. I mean, you could just go to town. You could make tons of really cool charms just using these stickers, or stickers from other books, right? Don't have to be these books, but You know, there's all kinds of things in here that would be great to just make into charms. So even these little guys would be really cool, you know. At least that's what I think. You know, I think those would be great to make into charms. So okay, so that's my thoughts on making charms with paper stuff. Don't forget, like I was saying, you know, same idea with these little paper ephemera pieces that you can buy. Just glue these onto some chipboard and, you know, cut them out, and then, you know, put an eyelet through it and call it a charm, you know. Or you could even cut these out. Guess that's not a very good shape, but you know, you could use your paper punches and punch these out into shapes that you like too. The same thing with little cards. Like I'm collecting, I always have things with letters because I have a project in mind. And I like to make the charms out of the like anagram letters, you know, or in Scrabble letters. And I like to make other charms that are letters made in different ways. Because I like to sell charms that are like a word, you know. So anyway, I'm trying to come up with some other ways to make letter charms, and then also words, you know. So these I thought would be kind of fun to punch out with the paper punches in different shapes, you know. Like that one I think would be great as a, you know, like a little ticket shape or something, and then, you know, glue them onto my little blanks that I made before. So anyway, I'm going to hang up now. But yeah, fun, huh? Charming. Yeah, that was fun. So next time, not sure when that's going to be, but let's do like wooden things, like wood things that you can drill, and I'll do some other like ways to attach those pieces, you know, like these little wooden pieces, you know, and just things. I'll work on some projects or something, like some actual projects, you know. And make some more charms. Okay, and then maybe we'll do some with resin or something the next time, or I don't know. We'll just keep making charms until we can't make charms out of anything else, like jewelry and beads and all kinds of things. Okay? All right, you guys. Yeah, wood. Okay, well, I'll let you know when I'm gonna do it. I will probably in a couple weeks. You know, probably not this coming Saturday, but maybe the following Saturday, something like that. Okay. All right, guys. I love you, and try to stay out of trouble. Okay, while I'm not watching you, and don't touch the buttons. Okay. Bye for now. I'm leaving the stream.